and salutations, everyone. Welcome! As Star indulges in one of my hyperfixations. Because she's an awesome girlfriend.
Hey, you. Oh, wait.
I don't think I'm a girlfriend.
No.
I could be mistaken. But, as many of you who are around our Discord server are aware, I am a fan of the BattleTech. Yes, it has been a franchise I've been with for a long time. Longer than most of you have been alive. Yeah. But, as kind of a laugh, Raven, because Surat has been picking up some of the miniatures to paint, Yorkshire Raven actually got me a pack of miniatures that I plan on painting eventually, and in fact, I am going to have your help in painting these.
Oh, my.
What?
Oh, my.
Yeah, I know, right? Because, like, I could paint these all with the same paint job and have them be a matching thing, but I'd rather have at least some of my mechs represent some of my friends and loved ones. So, I am going to take this time to, crack this sucker open and tell you a little bit about each of these mechs, who makes them, and what they do, and that sort of thing. So, this is the Clan Firestar pack. Ostensibly, that means that these mechs are designed to stand really far away and shoot from really far away and not get close to things. Normally in a fire lance, traditionally in BattleTech, that means a lot of missiles. Not the case here. These are more direct fire things, but with one notable exception, they all do a good job at being the ranged, I'm going to shoot that guy way the hell over there in particular. So, if I can remember which side it opens. Here we have some packs for the Alpha Strike game, which is sort of a faster version of the traditional miniature game. I don't actually know the rules for Alpha Strike, unlike the standard tabletop game. And it also provides some canon characters who pilot each of these. Oh, hey, Aletha Kabrinsky. Of course she's the canon pilot for that. So let's pull these suckers out. Alrighty, so we have 5 clan mechs here, because the clans work in a base 5 system. Their standard mech unit is a star, which is 5 mechs. So, let's pull these out one by one. The first mech here, which is the least fire-supporty one, is a mech called the Fire Moth. It is a 20-ton mech. It was originally designed, rather, by Clan Cloud Cobra, who were a clan of religious nuts, if you want to think of them that way. That's a gross oversimplification. But they gave it this odd arm assembly because they originally planned for it to have little, containers to better carry around infantry. This was unsuccessful, but they were like, screw it, we don't feel like changing the design. Clan Ghost Bear, who is one of the larger and stronger clans, got wind of them making this, and were like, hey, we challenge you for the rights to make this mech, because Clan Society works on might makes right. I'm going to fight you to get the right to whatever. The Fire Moth, again, it's a 20-ton mech, which means it is a light mech. It has almost no armor, and what it's good at is moving really, really, really stupid fast. Like, I think it can do bursts of upwards of, 216 kilometers per hour. It moves faster than any mech reasonably should. It has next to no armor. It has a reasonable punch to it. The prime configuration, which is what this particular one looks like, has an SRM-6, an SRM-4, and 2 medium lasers. I know Surat's a fan of the D configuration, which has 5 medium lasers and a targeting computer. It's primarily used by the bears, who use it to carry around their armored infantry. The Hell's Horses are also big fans of it, for the same reason. Clan Cloud Cobra were the original designers, and I believe Clan Wolf in Exile are also big fans, despite having other really ridiculously fast mechs going for them. But it's ubiquitous enough to show up pretty much anywhere. In the clans, anyway. Okay, let's do this one next. Here we have the Kit Fox, another light mech, another one that was originally built by the Cloud Cobras. So fans of BattleTech say when you're building a mech according to rules, speed, armor, weapons. Pick two. In the case of the Kit Fox, they picked weapons twice. It's not a particularly fast light mech, nor is it particularly well armored, but it can carry a lot of guns. The primary configuration, which the model is based on here, has an ER large laser, a small pulse laser, an LBX AC5, and an SRM4. The configuration I particularly remember is the A configuration, which has a Gauss rifle and 2 ER medium lasers, which is more gun than a mech this size should reasonably have. So it was originally designed by the Cloud Cobras, but Clan Jade Falcon got wind of it and immediately challenged them for production rights, and it became one of their signature light mechs. Clan Snow Raven also challenged for the rights to it, and they are currently producing it out in the Outworlds Alliance. But again, it's one that you could reasonably expect to show up in any of the clans. I know the Wolf's Dragoons mercenary unit in the Inner Sphere was even making a couple of them, but, like, you could expect these to show up commonly in the Smoke Jaguars, the Steel Vipers, and both halves of Clan Wolf as well, among many others. Let's see here. What's the next one I want to bring out? Well, let's go ascending size order. So, this one here, we have the Cougar. Wow. So this is primarily a Jade Falcon mech, and it was built and designed after the refusal war they had with Clan Wolf. Lantern, what's that? Look, we'll be here all night if you're gonna get me into BattleTech history. Suffice it to say, Clan Jade Falcon, big war with the Wolves, they both got the shit kicked out of each other, and they both needed to rebuild. So Marth Pride, the leader of the Falcons at the time, basically had the clan do a crash rearmament program, and one of the mechs they came up with was the Cougar, which was inspired by another clan mech known as the Adder. Basically, they shrank the engine size down a little bit, shaved a little bit of the armor off, and put more gun. So it's a little slower than its cousin, the Adder, but fits more weapons. And the prime configuration here, which frankly is the only configuration I remember off the top of my head, is armed with 2 large pulse lasers, 2 LRM-10s, not enough heat sinks to use all of them. Basically, it's a death or glory machine. It is most common with the Falcons, because they built the damn thing. But, you could reasonably expect to see this with the Wolves and the Wolves in Exile. I know a couple of them spread to Clan Smoke Jaguar when they were getting attacked during Operation Bulldog. Several Inner Sphere pilots were shocked to see this thing. They're like, oh, an Adder, we know how to deal with weight. It has more gun. What's happening? But yeah, it's primarily a Falcon machine. Although, the ones that show up in the Wolves and Wolf in Exile, the pilots of this tend to have a big rivalry with the pilots of the Adder, because they're like, well, no, mine's better. No, mine's better. No, mine's better.
Ladies, you're both beautiful. Also, it's clearly popular with college boys.
I have a story about that. Next up, possibly my personal favorite of the pack, the Nova Cat.
Meow.
Made by Clan Nova Cat.
Meow.
So, Clan Nova Cat had also had the shit kicked out of them at one point, and they were on a rebuilding spree. And they actually got inspired by a Jade Falcon mech. The thing you have to understand about clan mechs, because their tech is better than Inner Sphere tech, when a lot of their heavy mechs first debuted, it was like, oh my god, those things are moving faster than any of our heavy mechs, and they have comparable arms and armament. Well, Jade Falcon was the first to realize this with their mech, the Nightgyre. Hey, if we slow down our heavy mechs to like the same speed as the Inner Sphere heavy mechs, we can fit more guns! So they introduced the Nightgyre as kind of a replacement to the aging summoner. Well, the Nova Cat saw that and were like, you know, we should get in on that. So I believe this bad boy is 75 tons. It's embarrassing that I don't know that off the top of my head. But it was basically built to be a pocket assault mech. And, fitting in with the Nova Cat idiom of we're marksmen and we like lasers a lot, the primary configuration is armed with 2 ERPPCs and 3 large pulse lasers. Unless I'm mistaken. Which is a good configuration. My favorite configuration is the A, which throws on jump jets and 4 ER large lasers, so it can really just jump around, be obnoxious, and really reach out and touch someone. Because it's the Nova Cat, as you can imagine, it's primarily fielded by Clan Nova Cat. However, several wound up with Clan Smoke Jaguar. A pantload wound up with Clan Ghost Bear because due to historical things that happened, Clan Ghost Bear had a really, really big mat-on against the Nova Cats and would attack them incessantly, and would pick these bad boys up as salvage. Clan Diamond Shark also had a factory for them for a while, but not anymore. A couple would potentially show up with Clan Wolf in Exile, who were one of the trading partners of Clan Nova Cat, and one of the few clan trading partners of Clan Nova Cat after a certain point. On the Inner Sphere side of things, and yes, I am going to touch on the Inner Sphere briefly, you'd find these with House Kurita because they basically owned the Nova Cats for a while. You'd also see them with the Republic of the Sphere. But yes, mech I am very fond of.
It's also very popular with grannies. Meow.
And the last one in this pack, and the one I feel the most guilty about liking, the Warhawk.
It looks like a box.
Yeah, it's very boxy. The Smoke Jaguars aren't known for their engineering prowess.
I am the box mech.
So, in the, before the clan invasion happened, the Smoke Jaguars were really, 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 really ridiculously excited for potentially invading the Inner Sphere.
You could say they were smoked.
Oh yeah. They got smoked later, but that's another thing. So one of the mechs they designed in preparation for that was this bad boy, the Warhawk. It is 85 tons of hatred. It is big, it is pretty slow and plodding. It is one of the better assault mechs the clans came up with ever. It is the pride of the Smoke Jaguars. But Lantern, what about the Direwolf? I know about the Direwolf, that's another show. So it's 85 tons of just sheer hatred. The primary configuration has an LRM-10, 4 clan ERPPCs, and not quite... Oh, and a targeting computer, so it's more likely to hit. And not quite enough heat sinks to use all of that. A later clan design would correct that, but again, another conversation. The Smoke Jaguars were very proud of this design and held on very tightly to production rights, which isn't to say that it didn't show up elsewhere. The Falcons and the Ghost Bears loved to get their hands on these things when they could, and I know a handful showed up with the Bears. It was not impossible to find them with all of the invading clans, but most of them showed up with the Smoke Jaguars because they built the damn thing. Until Operation Bulldog happened and the Smoke Jaguars were no longer a problem. After that, the two clans that were producing it were the Goliath Scorpions and the Fire Mandrills, who got both of the production facilities on the planet Huntress and Clan Space. Then numerous bad things happened that we're not going to go into detail of, but there are basically no production facilities for this mech left in the Inner Sphere, which isn't to say there aren't the odd one around here and there. The only known production is, again, the Goliath Scorpions in the Deep Periphery in El Imperio Escorpio! In Space Spain and Deep Space. Clan Diamond Shark / Sea Fox has been trying to buy some from them, but they've not been successful as of yet. So if you see this in the Inner Sphere, it is likely to be a patchwork machine and very rare. Although there were some notable Inner Sphere pilots who wound up with them. Theodore Carita is one, Reinhard Steiner's another, but it is a rare mech that is 85 tons of screw you. It was a little more common during the days of the clan invasion. It's well designed, it's awesome, and I feel guilty for liking it. So that is a little bit of the histories of each of these mechs. Get
Whoops.
back in there, Fire Moth.
It goes fast.
He goes fast. He goes stupid fast. He has to carry around those armored infantry on the outside who are hanging on for dear life. So, if you are a member of the Discord server, shameless plug, and you want to be featured and you know anything about BattleTech, feel free to drop us a line in there. And if you want to figure out a good paint job for your mech, or if you want to learn more about particular factions, I would recommend checking out sarna.org, which is the BattleTech fan wiki. And for paint jobs, I would recommend checking out Camo Specs, which has most of the canon paint jobs available. But yes, that has been our crash course in the Clan Firestar. I have been JKLantern. That over there has been StarPrincessHLC, who has been very gracious in shooting this and featuring this on the channel.
Guess where my arms are? Non-existent.
There are armless mechs, but they're not in this pack. Surat's going to send me the damn Irby box later, and I'm going to go over each and every configuration of the Urban mech.
Rip my arms.
Rip your arms. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been informative. If it hasn't, too bad. Ta-ta for now.